Especially when you're in the choir and you're new, you want to get accepted, you want people to love you or just accept you, include you in what's going on. And then someone actively excludes you. Somehow it's a different thing when somebody is just unconsciously, because you're already used to their people. So unconsciously they don't make the effort to. But this one, she was actively excluding me, snatching the mics, and not when she had, because she was the administrative head, when she had opportunities to give me responsibilities that obviously I could handle, she wouldn't. So it's something that happens in the choir often. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Choir Music Podcast. My name is Neka, your host, your favorite choir member, and today we'll be talking about friendships in choir. We're talking about friendships in choir, how it affects the dynamics of the choir, and how it fosters community in choir as well. So today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Sheyi. We will be gisting and talking generally about friendships in choir as well. I don't need to speak too much. She'll be introducing herself as I pass on the mic to her. Hello,
Hi
Sheyi.
everyone.
Oh,
Hi. Oh, like she said, my name is Oluwaseyi. We both are in the choir in church, and this is why the platform is here, right? I've been in the choir for I think 11 years. I wouldn't count when I didn't turn 18 that I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going with the flow. But from 18 up till now, I've been a good choir member, I would say, and it's been an experience because when you start following people, like you call people elders or auntie, and now a few years later you become the auntie, you become the
absolutely.
one that people look up to, right? Okay, what do I do? What do I do this? And it takes God's grace to be in the choir, be in community because you're around different people with
For
different
sure.
backgrounds, different
Mhm.
mindsets. So you have to accommodate people a lot of times. So it's been good, and I'm looking forward to what we're about to talk about.
For sure. I am as well. Because it's something, most people overlook it, but it's actually a thread in the choir, friendships, cliques, all that. It's a lot. And it's time to like decipher it, like break it down and see how to navigate it with more wisdom. So we'll be talking about friendships in choir. And first of all, I just want to ask, is there any friendship situation that has stood out for you in choir? Has there been anyone you've been friends with that has really impacted your life? And how did that happen organically? How did it grow to become that?
When I came to Canada, I really wanted to be in something in the church because I wanted my parents to be okay because it's a far journey from Nigeria and you need
For sure.
that stability. So I wanted to join something that would put me in, not necessarily put me in like the camera or in the limelight, but I'm actively doing something that gets them to be like, okay, she's okay.
She's okay.
She's doing something. So I joined the choir and my friend joined the choir as well. We both joined the choir at the same time. I think we've been friends for I think practically 11 years now. And it's not just about having sweet melodies or
Mhm.
singing high notes. Both of us were in alto,
Yeah.
coincidentally. But like, it's not about that. It was more, she was really in depth in God's word. I was a
Mm,
child. We're both age mate, but we had different levels of like maturity in that sense.
mhm,
So she showed me a lot of grace that I
mm,
needed at that time. And I think that's another dynamic with friendships in choir. You don't necessarily have to be friends with someone your age. You don't
mhm.
necessarily be someone that is the same class with you. But having that mutual understanding, you're there to learn and grow at the same time. You're not
For
just there
sure.
to
Mhm,
sing. You're there to glorify God, perfect, but you're there to grow. And then back to her, she showed me a lot of grace. Like sometimes I would flare up or act out, but there was this connecting factor for us was mostly like was God. I
yeah.
didn't understand fully, but she had in-depth knowledge of what a friendship should look like. So she gave me a lot of grace. And that's sometimes choir members, you don't find that.
For sure.
Everybody's
Absolutely.
latching at everybody. Everyone's like, you talk to me this way, I'll talk to you this way, or my alto is sweeter than your soprano, and it shouldn't be so. We should
Yeah.
be like very
Meshed
united.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she showed me a lot of grace, and I think that's how I also flourished as a person too. Now I can see my behaviors in some people. I'm like, don't worry, you'll be fine. Like I understand.
Absolutely.
I was there before, right? So mainly choir is like choir setting is showing grace, understanding that age is not the matter. You might be married, you might be single, you might be a high schooler.
Yeah.
Respect should be given around that sector. And I think it was for both of us, we understood that. And when we fell out of the understanding, we had someone in our group to actually bring us back to the understanding, okay, this is what it
Yeah.
is. And we've not been together like in the same city for I think 5 years now, 4 or 5 years now, and we still talk. We
That's
still,
amazing.
it feels like we're still in the same
Yeah. Sales girls. That's for sure.
That
All right. Thank you for that, Shay. And I'm talking about how easily it can be a situation of stripes in the choir. Have you ever had a situation where a friendship went really bad in the choir? And how did you navigate that?
I won't use the word friendship lightly.
Yeah.
I've used it lightly in the past, and come to find out we're never friends. Me and people
Mm,
I thought we were friends. So I would say I have more acquaintance now than friends. But at that time, when I thought I had friends that were friends, it was
yeah.
mostly with something happened about dressing, makeup. I was really into all those things. I'm still into it, but I've chilled a bit into that. And someone said I looked ugly,
Mm,
and it was someone of
no.
high esteem in the choir. So I was like, I feel you've grown to the point that those words are not supposed to be used lightly, or you shouldn't use those words. If I
Mm,
offend you or if something about me isn't right, you push me to the side and you talk to me like a sister. But
for sure.
and also people find the wrong times to tell you things and
Mm,
expect you to. Yeah, God works in mysterious ways, but sometimes your heart is not centered anymore. When someone gives you a bad news and you're going on the stage,
absolutely.
you're going
Yeah.
to like
Mm,
I'm not communicating anymore. I'm still in that thought process, and I just had to make my way through. Everybody lift your hands and worship God, and I don't even mean it in my
yeah.
heart,
Because
right?
you're hurt already. Yeah.
I'm already
You can't
hurt, and
connect anymore.
I had to actually work on my thoughts. I'm kind of person I think like if something happens between two of us right now,
Hmm.
unknowingly to me or consciously, I play what we've talked about in my head. What could I have done right? What could I have done
Mm,
wrong? Or was
very
that meant for
self-aware.
me? Was that meant for me? So this part, I just looked at the person. I'm like, I don't think that was meant for me. If it was meant for me, it wasn't received. I didn't receive it the way they thought I should have received it.
Mm,
And I didn't like them. I didn't like them for a while. But now, the third person, if you
mhm.
say anything bad about her, you're going to fight with me. Because I've come to look above that. That's their character. It's
Yeah.
not it's not because of me.
Yeah.
And if someone gives you access to tell them their wrongs and how to change it, then you do. If not, you pray for them. You don't
Absolutely.
do more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that you're very self-aware, and very few people actually do what you do, like disassociate from a situation and dissect it objectively. That is very powerful, and I like that. I like that for
Was not
you,
always like this.
especially. Yeah, yeah. I think it's something you grow into, with maturity, and even some people with age, it doesn't come. So it's a good thing that you have that, and I love that for you, especially in a very high emotionally tense place like choir. Because in the choir, you open your voice, not just your voice, your soul, your spirit is
Your
open,
heart.
and you do it often. So you are tightly knitted with people who you sing with most times. So what they say is, it carries weight. And I think it's something we should put out there, that we should be careful how we use our words in choir. I'm not saying you should not say the truth or speak the truth, but it's especially important in choir to speak the truth in love, because people are vulnerable. They're putting themselves out there, being on stage, opening themselves up. And then at that point of vulnerability, you just strike with words that are not edifying. It can have a very far reaching and long lasting effect. So I'm just putting it out there, be very careful how you address people in the choir, because they are at their the most vulnerable stage. You have something to say, go ahead, sorry.
I would say like I'll go back to when I was suspended in choir. I was hurt. I was like, this shouldn't be happening. I wanted my choir leader to have my back. But I actually understand the under authority. I didn't get it then, but I had to get it. So what people could do, like choir members, if you're feeling hurt or anything, sometimes verbally saying it brings out a lot of emotions that you can't really control. But writing out your thoughts, writing
Mm,
out how you felt about the situation, how you think that person should have handled that situation, it's like writing a letter to God and letting it go.
mm,
Like you don't need them to tell you sorry, just for them to know how you felt and just let it go. Pray to God about it. I think that's
for
what I
sure.
did. I had to write a letter to the two people party involved, and it was done because the thing I realized I can't change you as a person.
For
I can
sure.
only change my own reaction to what you're doing, right? And that let also having people around you to help you proofread your letters.
For sure,
Sending
yeah.
it out. So I had two
Because,
people.
yeah,
I
honestly,
had two
the
people.
most, yeah, go ahead. Sir.
I had two people review my letters. They edited, like, I got my message out, but in a very respectable way. Because at that time,
Mm,
even though you're trying to write your emotions, a lot of emotions need to be filtered. As
for
much as
sure.
you want people to filter things and be respectful to you, respectful to others as well.
Reciprocate, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Honestly, then that's why my least favorite way of communicating is through text, because so many things can be misconstrued. Yeah, so many things can be misconstrued. So it's actually when it's a very high tension, or the emotions are already high and the person already has a mindset about you. Texting most times will just make it worse, because they will begin to read it in the voice in their heads, not in your own voice. So I just better probably send a voice note if you're a WhatsApp person,
Exactly.
or just make a call because sometimes text messages can, can be taken anyhow. So it'll be, yeah, it's just, so that's something that is not part of this conversation, even though it is. It's about friendship and communication and being one.